was born in 86. Oh, that's good. 80s. It was quite normal. I went to a private nursery. I remember a little bit of that. That's when I found out I was allergic to horses. Alright, we went to a school trip or something, and we went to look at police horses or something like that. And I remember like stroking a horse and all that stuff, and then I rubbed my eyes. And then before you know it, my eyes just became like plums, almost just like poofy, and I just couldn't see. And then they called my parents, and my parents picked me up, and then my mom was obviously like in a panic and shit. And I remember looking in the mirror in the car like, what's wrong with my eyes? Oh my god. Yeah, then they kept me in private schools my whole life, and all boys schools. There was an interim of non-boyness for like from age 8 to 11. I went to the Herodian school, which is where Jack Whitehall went to school, and Robert Pattinson also have been to school there. I believe they're in the years below me. I don't know if they were there when I was there. I was amongst one of the first few people in that. It was a brand new school. Let's say it was very experimental. Yeah, it was a weird school, man. Yeah, proper weird school. And I remember like never going to any classes hardly, and just going to play football all the time, and just causing mischief. I got into a lot of trouble in that school. Like in that school, I was like the bad boy. And then then my parents yanked me out when they realized that the school is just nuts. And to top it all off, this is what made my parents yank me out of that school. The English teacher and the headmistress had an affair, and the headmistress was married to this lord, and he was a sir. His name was Sir Alfred Houston Boswell Bart, and I'll never forget that name, because like how can you not forget that fucking name? And he was married to this French woman, and she was a lady. She was Lady Ileana, and they had an affair, and they just became like everyone knew about it, and they were put on leave, and my parents were like, "Fuck this place." And then after that, they put me. I can say fuck, right? I can say anything, isn't it? Yeah, cunt. Fucking cunt. Then they put me into a state school, which is like public school. The first time in public school system. Fucking hell, it was weird as fuck. My second foray into a mixed environment, albeit only for 6 months for me. A couple of years for my brothers. Excuse me. Public school was weird. And I remember getting kicked, like, or kneed in, like, the side of my leg, and my leg went dead, and then I was like, and then I went to the teacher, and the teacher was like, "Don't do that again," and that was all that happened. And then those kids were just like, they said they were gonna, like, fuck me up, but then they never did, pussies. I'll fuck them up now, though. And then my parents had a good idea, like, to invite them to my birthday party, and after that, like, we all became friends. We were kids, man, like 11 going on 12. Then after that, they put me back into private school at this place called Clifton Lodge, all boys school, back to all boys uniform, the whole bullshit. That was quite gay, man. Yeah, boys school is not. If I ever have kids, I'll never send them to same-sex school. That's not normal. And it's not good for the brain. You know what I mean? Yeah. Weird times. And then St. Benedict Catholic Boys School, they've been in the news the last decade or so since I left about some pedophilia shit going on with the priests. And then the vice principal or deputy headmaster have had kiddie porn on his school computer, and it was found. So just like, this is the school that I went to. Fucking hell. Mum and Dad. Bad idea. It's okay. They didn't know, innit? Like, how the fuck do you know? You're paying so much money every year for this school. You don't expect pedophiles and priest rapists to be walking around. Especially for that amount of money. If it was in the US, I think there would have been a lawsuit and people would got like money back for paying the school fees, but because it's England, and that will never happen. Bullshit system in England. Learn from the Americans. And especially like when you try to talk to girls while being in the same-sex boys' school, it is just it's like fluffing your lines on stage. It's not natural. Because you haven't been exposed to it, so you become shy, you become awkward. Whereas if you grow up around them, when you like, most likely you'll date one of your classmates, isn't it? That's what happens. You went to a mixed school, so then, for me, like I was playing catch up my whole life. I fucking caught up though. I overtook people. I lapped people around. Yeah, now I fucking do whatever I want, but it would have been nice not to play catch up either. You know what I mean? Level playing field would be cool too. Maybe I would have been even more of a crazy dog than I was. But now I found a woman that I love and I married her, and like I'm done. I caught up and then some. I made up for lost time and then some. I'm good. It didn't really play a part like growing up in a mixed religion household, you know, like my dad would inflict Hindu beliefs, my mum would inflict, well, not inflict, they would what's the word I'm thinking of, they would encourage, like, you know, my dad in his Hindu belief system, there's no meat eaten on Tuesdays, so sometimes we would just not do meat on Tuesdays. It's fine, innit? Like, it'll be a healthy day. Okay, vegetarian or fish was okay to eat, so it'd be fish day. Wicked. Fish fingers. Like, we were happy with that. And my mom was like, no pork. Fine by me. What other meat did we have? Every other meat you could think of. Duck, lamb, beef, chicken, venison, salmon, sea bass, every other meat in the world we've had in that house. So I don't feel like, people say, oh, you're missing out. Maybe I am, but maybe I'm not. There's people who won't touch like duck or lamb. And I feel that you're missing out if you don't eat duck and lamb, like, kill yourself, as you say. So, yeah, how did it play a role in going to school? Nothing much. At church, like, if you're a non-practicing or like a non-Catholic, which there were a lot of people, like, just because I was brown doesn't mean like there were white guys. Like Richard is Church of England, so he's not technically a Catholic, so you don't receive the Catholic thing, you just like cross your arms and bow your head, so then you don't take the thing, and but you still get a blessing from the priest. Fine. That was it. And like you know, one year I didn't get Ash on Ash Wednesday, and then one of the religious studies teachers was like, why didn't you do that? You're in a Catholic school. I was like, you know, I did it last year. I didn't feel like doing it this year, and that's what I believe in. It's a free country. You know, what I would have said, in me being the person that I am now, back then, I would have said, and my parents pay your fucking fees, pay your salary, mate. So shut the fuck up. I'll do whatever I want. If I want to have cocaine on my fucking forehead on a cross, I'll fucking do it, because my parents pay your fucking salary, mate. But I didn't say that because I was a pussy back then. But now I'll destroy anyone, verbally, physically, whatever. Like, I will not let you beat me. Like, I'll fight dirty. Like, I'll bite you. I'll rip your balls off. I'll do whatever it takes. You're going down first. I'm not going down, and that's how I know I'm dangerous. Not really, but I will kill you. Well, my dad did his best to, you know, teach us about Hinduism and stuff, and, you know, he would read us stories, and it's interesting, but I got more from the Islamic side, and that would be my mum's side, especially my grandmother. And something just called out to me more on that side, and I can't explain why. It just felt more right. But I'm non-practicing, so, you know, but I still respect the values and certain beliefs. Like, I don't eat pork, that's fine. But if that's the only thing that I do to observe that side, I'm happy with that. That's my way of paying respect to my grandmother also. The first time I came here, I was 6 months old. There's very famous pictures in my house of that trip. I don't remember that, obviously. The earliest memory I have is of coming here was in '92. We went to Florida. And I remember having a great time, yeah. Disneyland, my parents bought me this wooden rifle, this toy rifle. I don't know how they got that back to England. Don't ask me how they got that back to England. Because even like a toy gun back then, like, was crazy. I don't know how they did it. Great time in Florida. I remember lots of rain, thunderstorms. We went in July, August as usual. That's Florida for you. I remember pooping my pants. That was a funny memory. I don't know why. I remember Cocoa Puffs and lots of poop. I don't know why. But a fun trip overall, of course. Like when I was 6 years old. 6-year-old going to Disney World, Florida is like, and like especially most of my friends I don't think had ever been. So that was cool. Yeah, that was my first memory. Then we went again in '98. I was 12, so a bit more memory from that one. That was when we came to LA for the first time, '98, and I fucking loved it. Yeah. I knew I was gonna come here one day. I knew I was gonna come here one day. Little did I know I fucking hate it like 5 years later, but I'm sure that's a question for later on. You might need a few hours for that specific question, but yeah, fucking LA, cunts. 98, happiest memory, like, oh my god. We went to Universal Studios, Back to the Future ride was still there. I don't think you ever went on that. You missed out. Great ride. Back to the Future. E.T. was still there. I took my sister on that. That was great fun for her. She was only 4 years old, but she was already tall enough to go into Jurassic Park. My mum was like, absolutely not for a 4-year-old, because it was fucking lethal, that ride, man. That drop is crazy. Yeah, so we went on the Jurassic Park ride, and my brother cried. Sam cried. He was all by himself. I was next to my dad. I just remember that crazy drop and just being like. Great times. We bought a lot of wrestling toys, wrestling figures. We were so into wrestling there, and there was like nothing in England like that. And like when we came here, it was like gold. There was like Stone Cold and The Rock figures everywhere. The Stone Cold t-shirts. We all wore Stone Cold t-shirts, and my mom just like found it so funny because it all said like whoop ass or like bull, like so something like Stone Cold would say, or like the middle finger, and like everywhere we'd go, we'd just be doing like giving everyone the middle finger like Stone Cold. So yeah, that was a fun memory, man. 98, and we drove to Fresno, San Francisco, back to LA. Yeah, that was a great trip, and we were here for like 3 weeks, I think. Yeah, happiest memory. Then we came back in 2003, Florida again. We did Orlando and Miami. That was a good trip. Obviously, like, I was more into girls then, and it was like, oh my god. Like, I loved American women from a young age. It was probably my first trip, actually. I remember this story. I was 12 years old. We were in LA, and we were eating at a Denny's, and the waitress was really cute, and she found me very cute, and like was just like kept playing with me and stuff. And then my mom could tell that I liked her, and then my mom gave me the money to give her a tip, and then she's like, oh, thank you, sweetie, and she gave me a kiss and a hug. I remember that. So that's probably like the first time I was like, oh yes, I like American women. Yeah, she was cute. I remember like a blonde. It was definitely like a cute tanned, typical California blonde. And look, I married a cute California lady, didn't I? She's a dirty blonde. So yeah, nothing but happy memories, like coming here and like seeing the US. It was like everyone's really, really friendly and happy and excellent customer service. I can now tell you that is officially bullshit. It's the complete opposite. People here are not friendly. There is zero customer service. Half the people can't even spell customer service. And yeah, people are fucking miserable, impatient cunts. And yeah, you can just tell. Just go on the 405 or the 101 or the 5 or the 10 or take your pick. the top 5, 10 worst freeways in the country, probably. It's bollocks. Next question. Growing up, it was like, wow. Even like up until 10 years ago, and when Obama was in charge, it was probably like, oh yeah, it's a really progressive country. And in 2016, it took about 20 steps back to the Nixon days. That's the perspective now. It's like, oh, you live in America. Like, oh, you live in America. It's changed. And like, yeah, it's not just one guy's fault. It's an accumulation of things, and the people reflect, the stupidity of people. I'm not just talking about here. Like, you get stupid people everywhere. I've been to enough places now as a 30-something-year-old that it's like, yeah, there's stupid people everywhere here. There's stupid people everywhere in the world, but I feel here it's just like, it's an extra special layer. It's a five layer dip of stupidity. But where do I even begin? Let's see. Where did the manners go? Like maybe in the South it's different. I don't know, in Texas maybe people are more polite than they are here, but like just normal courtesy is lacking, politeness, just decency, consideration. That's a big one. People are so inconsiderate here. It's unbelievable. Like, everyone's in their own bubble, no awareness of people around you because you lack consideration. This is as simple as that. So yeah, I would just say consideration. Start with that. Like, if you're gonna teach fucking monkeys how to use tools again, start with the easiest one, man. Start with a fucking hammer or a screwdriver. Start with being considerate. Yeah, like some Europeans, obviously, they're not. But like growing up, I was taught to be considerate, and in England, a lot of people are. I feel considerate, more so than here. Fucking hell. It's hard because it's just like, I'm an English guy, but at the same time, I'm a brown English guy. So even though I've been for Nazi skinhead roles and been on what's it called? On hold. When you're second choice. Look, it's been so long, we don't even fucking remember the word. On a veil. I was on a veil for a Nazi skinhead role, me. This guy was gonna have a swastika tattooed on his fucking bold dome. That tells you everything about Hollywood. I mean, it's great to be able to go for that, like, I'm not complaining or anything, but if my stage name wasn't Sean Cade, I don't think I'd get called in for the Caucasian roles. Let's just put it that way. The name changes the perception and how you look at someone. That's Hollywood. No imagination, even though it's meant to be the most creative and imaginative place on the planet. How many things are being remade, recycled, rebooted from every fucking decade of the 20th century? They're gonna run out of fucking things to do. On the upside, Hollywood must be loving the pandemic because it's pushing back every project, so they're under less pressure to churn out nonsense because everything's been pushed back. So they're not under any pressure to deliver anything new anytime soon because nothing's coming out. So they must be loving, even though they're all taking a hit financially, but that's not our problem. You make billions and billions of dollars a year churning out mostly nonsense these days. You get mostly bad films and you do good films now. Same goes for TV shows. Nonsense. They think they're forward thinking, Hollywood. But I'm proof that they're not. They can be easily deceived. That for me is not forward or progressive. If they were forward thinking and progressive, they would not allow me to deceive them and fool them so easily with a simple name change. What does that tell you about Hollywood? Exactly, like I said, this will be a 10-part documentary if we carry on, because I could go on and on and on. I'm not the only one that feels that way, though. That's the only thing. The only problem is the people in charge are not my age. or of my generation yet. And even those of my generation may make the same mistakes as the previous generation. Look at climate change. Nothing's changing. It's only getting worse. People say it doesn't exist. Tell that to the record-setting wildfires we've had this year. That we get every year as a record-setting something. But let's keep ignoring it because we need to keep powering the world on coal, oil, gas, all that crap. We live in one of the sunniest places on the planet. Where's the solar panels? Why aren't we completely solar powered? Why are the telephone lines still above ground on wooden fucking posts? Hollywood is exactly like Los Angeles in every way. Archaic, barbaric, backward. And not at all in the modern times in the way it conducts itself and does things. Look at the lawmakers. The governor sums up what's wrong with LA, never mind the whole state. But that's another topic altogether, isn't it? That's all I got to say on these cunts here. Yeah, something needs to change. If someone like me was in charge, at least we'd be making waves, getting the correct headlines that we need. Maybe controversial, maybe not. But you have to make change. You can't do the same thing over and over again. That's the definition of insanity. Anyway, the steam will run out. People will die off. I'm hoping there will be change in our generation, but maybe it'll be too late. If the planet's going to shit anyway, why are we churning out movies and everything, just entertaining everyone until the very end? It's a good way to look at it. Like the violinist on the Titanic, right? Yes, noble in that sense. Whether it deserves us to get paid $10 million a movie is questionable, but waste of resources if you ask me. We could easily pay them $1 million for a movie, and I'm sure they'd be more than content and be able to live a decent lifestyle on that. It's greed. That's the other problem with this town. It's just very greedy. Everything screams greed. Everyone's just wanting like a piece of their fucking pie. Rather, just cook your own pie, you cunt. Fucking hell. People are just like lining up at the bakery store wanting a piece of that pie. Why don't you open your own bakery store and make your own pie, you cunt? Then you can have all the pie you want. But no. Everyone's a dumb sheep. Just follow the herd. Hopefully it takes you back to the fucking pen so you get fed some grass, because they're gonna fucking slaughter you anyway for meat. First of all, the mayor of this town is useless, so he needs to go. Everybody knows it. Like, let's not play the political hee hoo ha ha game. Just be honest with yourselves, innit? Like, he's not good enough. He's not a leader of people. You have to be a leader of people. You have to be strong, mentally and physically strong to, be responsible for 10 million plus people. He's not responsible. He's not responsible enough, in my opinion. The city is run poorly. It's not really one city, it's multiple cities, but there's no unity. You can't call it the city of Los Angeles if there's multiple cities, can you? So they should disenfranchise this town. It can't be called the city of Los Angeles then, can it? Where is the city of Los Angeles? Break that off and make it separate then. But then give us the city of Los Angeles money. Give every town in this city their share of the pie. That's what I would start changing there. Yeah, break the city up. Then the roads would be better, because every town, like the town of Glendale, or the city of Glendale, let's say, would have its own budget, because it's getting its money, right? It's not going to the city of Los Angeles to be dispersed where it needs it, like Beverly Hills and the Palisades and Malibu and Santa Monica. It's going to go where the Glendale money will stay in Glendale. The Sherman Oaks money will stay in Sherman Oaks. Santa Monica money will stay in Santa Monica, etc., etc. You know the roads are going to be fucking immaculate then, right? Because they only have to worry about their own things. But if everyone's worrying about their own thing, the connecting roads will be perfect. Problem one solved. Every major city in the world has a good transit system, subway system, train system. The only city in the world that doesn't have a decent one. You need something connecting the valley to the west side and vice versa. Consistently running like the tube in London or the trains in Japan or the subway in New York, the equivalent Chicago Metro, whatever. The city needs that first and foremost, I think. Just to alleviate the traffic. If that transit system was better and affordable, of course, then you take millions of cars off the road immediately and the traffic should equalize itself because you'd have foot traffic on the subway and you've had people in the cars who actually need to drive in. Fine. Make enough accessible stops so people don't have to take 20 trains to get home. 2, 3 maximum, like in England. And that's it. That needs to be taken care of. So split up the cities, but every city will need to contribute to the transit system because it'll connect each city between itself anyway. Everyone will have their own connecting thing, but everyone's responsible for their stuff. So your stations in your borough of Glendale, you have to make sure that train station is immaculate and the roads are perfect. If everyone's responsible and given, they can govern themselves, it'll be much, much better. And the city will be perfect. And oh my god, the smog. Something needs to be done about that smog, yeah, man. That I don't know how to tackle because, one way to tackle is less cars on the road, and the transit system would solve that. The transit system should hopefully be electrical completely, and hopefully solar powered, even better. Again, sunniest bloody place on the planet, one off. Why not have solar powered everything, or most things? Now it's affordable, just build the fucking thing. Dumb cunts. So that's what I would do on like a citywide level. The state of California, you gotta get the governor out, mate. Fucking hell. I'm not from here, so I feel like I shouldn't really be speaking too heavily on the subject, but just living here 5 years, I've identified all the problems and how to fix them, and I'm just like some random guy from England. I'm sure I'm not the first person to suggest this stuff, but you have to ask the question, why aren't they doing this? Why haven't they done this? It's the 5th largest economy on the planet, not just in the country. 5th largest economy globally. Just the state. We could break off into our own country. That comes to my next thing. Should California be its own country? Yeah, I think it should be, yeah. That doesn't need the state. We can have US dollar, fine, but we don't need to be we can be separate. Be a separate country. I think Hawaii should be separate also. You can still be US territory, but you can be, Puerto Rico has their own flag, right? It's its own country. You have a Puerto Rican passport. It's not a US passport, right? US? But they have their own flag. And it's not just a state flag, it's a country. Like Puerto Rico is a country on the list of countries on whatever. So I think it should be like that. You can still keep the US dollar, whatever, or not. You have a Californian dollar. We got all the gold in the fucking world that we need here. Or do we? Where's the gold going? Nobody knows. Where's it gone? China. Yeah, probably if it can be done easily, break off California into a separate country. If not, yeah, you gotta get rid of the governor, and then I would amend the gun laws. Definitely, I would make it just more matching with the neighboring states. Even we're on the West Coast, we should match with Nevada or Arizona or a mix of both. And yeah, just open carry maybe, or concealed carry more regular. I would have to look at the gun statistics and the crime rate and see in a similar populated area what is the gun rate for open carry. Are there more killings, less shootings? I don't know. I can't say for sure. I would assume there should be less in theory, logically. Open carry. Oh, he's got a gun. I'm not going to mess around with him, right? But there's a lot of dumb cunts in this country, so that is not always a deterrent, shall we say. But gun laws should be more uniform, I think, with at least neighboring states, if not the whole country. I'm not saying be like Texas, but at least Arizona. If you don't want to have fully automatic weapons, be like Arizona then, or whatever, Washington State, I don't care, Oregon, anything but bloody California. What else? Yeah, legalize weed, man. It just needs to be just fully. I mean, it is right, but like nationally, it just should be done. Mushrooms as well, at least decriminalized and medically legal. Let's start with medical, and just see if anyone starts jumping off bridges and outside windows. If everyone's like kosher with it and they're alright medically, then do it. Yeah, I believe it helps with depression, if nothing else. It just perks you up, even if it's just a little microdose. Fine, give it to them. It's better than taking like a pharmaceutical drug, concocted in the lab made out of chemicals. Just give them a little shroomy pill. If it perks them up on a daily basis, one pill, and it's a fucking thing that you can grow and pick out of a grass in Amsterdam, why not? Why not give it to them? Yeah. So shroomies for sure. So I've done drugs, guns. What else? If I was governor or senator, my slogan would just be considerate. What's your policy? Just be considerate of others. Just can't please everyone or accommodate everyone, but just be considerate of others, even if they look or feel differently than you. At least consider their feelings and respect them. I read something interesting today about how you should, if somebody's name is difficult to pronounce, you should learn to pronounce it out of respect for that person. It's a respect thing. So just, respect and consideration. I'd say they go hand in hand. I was not expecting this question. Wow. What are we going to do in Alien's Land? Well, I can answer that in so many ways. Number one, who's to say they haven't already landed somewhere at some point or crashed or whatever you want to call it? Now it's not really something you make fun of because you're talking about it on CNN and Fox News. Laugh at the latter or not, Tucker Carlson, I don't know, but it's on mainstream news outlets now, so I think it should be given attention, if nothing else, like Harry Reid is saying. God, if they land and like it's on the news and like everyone's watching and just like what are they gonna do? I hope, like you, that intelligent people think intelligently. So intelligent beings, I hope they think and act intelligently and just be like, take pity on us. Just be like, look, you're fucking up in every way possible. This is what you need to do to right all the wrongs on your planet. Starting with disease and famine and all this stuff and how we just do everything and like the distribution of wealth and all that. I think that just needs to be right. It needs to be equalized everywhere. That's the only way we can move forward as a civilization if we want to survive. There can't be so much disparity everywhere because that's how civilizations crumble. That's why we have crime and stuff, like if there was an equalizer there'd be no need for crime and all that kind of stuff. I think something like that, like the alien thing, it would be an equalizer in itself in that everyone's way of thinking would be disrupted unless you're a dumb cunt. It would how can it not impact you? Like what are these, imagine now you're watching something on Discovery Channel, one of your shows, and then they interrupt everything and they say like aliens have landed here and they are like in Baldwin Park or Griffith Park and they're greeting people. Any human can come up to them and meet and greet them and speak to them and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. Would you want to go and meet them and greet them? You would, innit? Like just out of curiosity, if nothing else. Ask them questions. It'd just be like you meeting someone from a different country. Like I would want to know. Like I was telling Des yesterday, like have you ever met someone from Paraguay? Such a random country in South America, but if I met someone from Paraguay, I'd be like, oh cool, because like you don't come across that, innit? So I would want to know like what's it like there, what's the food like there, what's the people like there, music, food, the like the women, all that kind of stuff. Do you have nice beaches? The gun laws, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, like I'd be interested just to know these basic things. Number two, can I come with you? Where's your planet and is it oxygen friendly? And yeah, I would just hope that if and when something like that happens, that they come with a message and they enforce change for us for the better. So we become like them, and then just see we think on a higher plane and stuff like that. I think once you start thinking above, and I know like on the mushrooms and stuff, you start thinking like that on a higher plane, like there's something greater, and like we are connected with nature, and everything is beautiful, and we should appreciate what we have, and like this planet should be like green and luscious and all that kind of stuff, and it's becoming dry and crusty like the Martian planet. So some people say Mars looked like Earth once upon a time. It's theorized. I believe it. If there was a civilization like us who fucked up that whole planet and had wildfires every fucking year, it would explain the red sky, wouldn't it? that sky when the California fires, yeah, that was pretty red sky in San Francisco. Didn't it look like Mars? Just saying. Just saying, guys. Just saying. Yeah, yeah. Well, I would, I would hope there was a meet and greet of some sort, or at least just like a message of what to do and how to fix things for the better, just so we're happy. Just make everyone happy, man. If everyone, like what you said, if everyone in Congress had mushrooms, Israel and Palestine would definitely sign a peace agreement for life. In fact, you'd probably not have borders anymore, because borders, I was telling Des, borders are drawn by mostly a white guy somewhere, and who drew some squiggly lines on a piece of paper and said, "This is this country, this is that country." Who the fuck told you where the fucking lines were, mate? I don't know if you know the story of India and Pakistan. That's how Pakistan was created. Just the British guy was like, "This is Pakistan, and now this is India." That's it. Who gave you the right to mark those borders? Why do we have borders anyway? Were there borders 10 million years ago? No. Were there borders 10,000 years ago? No. Let's walk around, do whatever you want. But anyway, we've evolved into that thing. So if we need borders now, fine. But like, I think that it should be a free world, man. If you're on a higher plane of thinking and you think like that, it would be doable. But you gotta eradicate dumb cunt syndrome first. So that is the main virus of the planet, not COVID, not cancer. Cancer, yes. But definitely dumb cunt syndrome needs to be cured first before we can move on to that.